What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at something that I believe fully is something that should be implemented in every single Call of Duty game moving forward, at least in the conditions and the aspects that we have as of right now. This deals more so with DLC and in-game loot for things like weapons, different custom calling cards, emblems, things like that, camos even, and things that you basically just want to get but are now kind of restricted behind that air quote paywall of supply drops or bogged down by the absolute insane number of RNG items that are in supply drops as a whole in today's Call of Duty games. This is something that moving forward is definitely going to be something that is heavily scrutinized and heavily thought of and really regarded with and deliberated on by the community, and as sad as it may be to say, supply drops are not going anywhere. They're way too much of a market for additional revenue for Activision, and therefore it's not something that is going to be just as an instant poof gone in the next title. These are going to be here for as long as they keep making profits until there is a massive decline in the sales of micro DLC in the way of supply drops. They're not going anywhere. So that said, while we might have to accept that fate, we might have something that is a good relative balance in terms of what we can see for paying and also earning. And moving forward, I'd honestly say that of the things we've seen thus far and the different systems that have been created in the game, I want to see this one return as it is right now, additionally maybe even expanded upon to make it a little bit even better. But right now, I'm going to make a bold statement. Modern Warfare Remastered supply drop system is the best supply drop system that we've had to date. Now, of course, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of supply drops as is, but as we said, supply drops aren't going anywhere. It's just kind of a matter of fact at this point, and it's something that going into each and every single title moving forward, we can't really expect to say, well, you know what, they're not going to be in there, and then when they do come up, we get all disappointed about it. I think that right now, it's going to just happen, and again, right now, Modern Warfare Remastered, in my mind, has the absolute best system. And why is that? Because DLC content is actually unlockable, as well as just being able to be earned via RNG luck and supply drops. Weapons like the Gravedigger, Brawler's Brew, Cliffhanger, the CQB Bayonet, and the Scorpion are a load different than that of what we've seen in recent trends in Call of Duty. Let's start all the way back to where supply drops started and the paywall behind that, or the wall really between the RNG luck and the consumer getting the weapon that they want. Advanced Warfare went into the whole supply drop system not with base weapons, but with variants. We did get DLC randomly, intermittently there, where we'd get a base variant for free, but then we had to get some of the better ones in supply drops. Black Ops 3 then took it another step further and went in the full weapons in supply drops. As you know, there were not variants in Black Ops 3, but full weapons were behind that paywall, that RNG wall of supply drops, and therefore a lot of people thought it was hindering the gameplay experience. Infinite Warfare has done variants right now, but it's more than likely going to be both, with full weapons coming in the future and the variants, more of them coming as well in the future in supply drops, the way that things have panned out in recent trends. But however, amidst all of this push for micro DLC and the incentivizing of the in-game purchases, Modern Warfare Remastered, I think, has built the best supply drop system. Aside from everything being nearly cosmetic at this point, with only a few different pieces that actually affect the gameplay, there is one major key to the system that I think makes it perfect, and that is that everything is unlockable. When supply drops were introduced in Modern Warfare Remastered, naturally everybody lost their minds, and honestly rightfully so. It's something that was not in the original as it was initially intended to be, just a remaster or remake of the original with better graphics and all that, but it was something that really changed how the game would play. A lot of people really wanted to focus on the cosmetics then, and with that said, it was primarily cosmetic. However, recently we did get these 5 weapons that were introduced as melee weapons, and they don't necessarily take a loadout slot, but they do alter the way the knife animation works if you have them equipped. Everybody really kind of jumped down the throats of Raven and for the game with it as it was at that point. They didn't really give it too much of a chance, but when you take a look at it, the way that this is set up is actually quite brilliant and quite great, I think, in terms of not only somebody that loves to play the game and somebody that loves to grind Call of Duty, but as somebody looking at it from an outside perspective. It offers a lot more in terms of rewards than that of previous systems, and that is simply that you can unlock everything. everything can be unlocked, everything can be attained by simply playing the game, but also if you want to take that little shortcut, it is of course obtainable via supply drops. And if I'm not making myself clear enough here with this, it does help promote gameplay experiences if you don't want to actually pay for it. Some of these do have a hefty price tag on it in terms of the salvage or the currency needed to actually attain it via in-game earnings and all that, which are of course obtained via supply drops and duplicates, but those once again can be earned in-game by simply grinding out for depot credits. These do have some hefty price tags, but everything is attainable. Everything can be bought, and the nice part as well also is the fact that you can go for specific things that you want. It's not something that is once again all complete luck or something that really just takes away from something that you really want. If you want to take a look at, say, maybe the Gravedigger, for example, you can go and work on the Gravedigger collection. Therefore, you can work your way up, and then once you have every piece of that unlocked, you then unlock the Gravedigger melee weapon. And as well, you can do that with all the other ones. Everything in here, all the melee weapons, and as rumored, more weapons coming in the future, which are maybe ranged weapons, will have a collection attached to them so you can do the same exact thing. It's not something where you are required to buy something or required to grind out for just that slight chance. You have the chance also of getting it in supply drops, but also can work specifically up your way, up that ladder to getting whatever weapon you want and whatever item you want in a collection. And where it differs for the better is the fact that yes, you can unlock things with the in-game currency, but it is a lot more centralized, a lot more specific to whatever you actually want, and additionally, it's also DLC weapons. It's also something you're not given as the base game, but you can get, say, a DLC weapon, and maybe even moving further into the year, actual ranged weapons, say, as almost comparing my mind goes to the Peacekeeper from Black Ops 2. You don't have to pay $5, but you could play a couple days worth of the game, get it for absolute free, while also progressing your character in the multiplayer system. And all in all, I think it just really comes down to having more opportunities to get whatever that DLC weapon, that ranged weapon, that melee weapon, whatever it is. I think that Modern Warfare Remastered system just has more opportunities to hit that lucky RNG number, whether it be supply drops or actually working towards it to progressively unlock it and finish a collection to earn it. I think that Modern Warfare Remastered just has that extra step in place as compared to, say, the Quartermaster in Infinite Warfare, the Black Market in Black Ops 3. I think that it just has that extra step that takes it a little bit further and makes it the most fair for the consumer, while also still having that supply drop world and whole different microtransaction game involved within Call of Duty. Like I said, I don't think is going to be going away anytime soon. So to put this into perspective, a too long didn't read version, I guess, Modern Warfare Remastered exhibits a ton of characteristics that I think is a very fair version of the supply drop system that we've seen thus far. It's kind of taken everything that's worked from the previous systems and put it all into one, while adding its own little spins onto it to make it a little bit even better, I think, for the general player, somebody that doesn't really want to spend money, but also if they want that cosmetic item, they can, if they want to, spend a little bit on supply drops and buying them. So it kind of promotes both aspects, I think, playing the game and also buying it, getting a few extra hits to be able to get what you want a little quicker, or grind it out and actually work towards exactly what you want. And I think both of that is a nice little tandem that can live together in maybe peaceful harmony if us COD players so choose to make it be like that. But of course, again, I don't think supply drops are going anywhere, but this is what I've seen so far the best way, and I think moving forward, if supply drops are going to be here, I think that this is the way that we should be able to have our counter as the players that don't necessarily like to buy into the supply drop system. So, of course, this is all just discussion, speculation, theory, whatever you want to call it. In no way, shape, or form is this confirmed, but it's been something that's on my mind for quite some time now. I've been playing a little bit more Modern Warfare Remastered now that I have a little bit more free time, that I'm getting acclimated with a bunch of different things going on in the world right now. But as it stands, this is just something that was on my mind, and I want to talk a little bit about it here, because as I look at Modern Warfare Remastered supply drop system, I look at it and I feel like, though it still, of course, is something that could be heavily scrutinized, heavily criticized, I think that it is the most fair thing that we've seen in terms of the supply drop system thus far. So I want to see this, if anything, move forward, if not something a little bit better going into the future. But that said, that's where I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think about this? What do you think of the supply drop system in future Call of Duties? Do you guys agree that it's not going anywhere, even though you might not want it to? Or do you guys secretly hope and think that maybe it will go away next year, the year after, or maybe the year after that? Love to hear your thoughts, and of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this idea of the way that the supply drop system is working right now with Modern Warfare Remastered. Do you think it's something that could promote both microtransaction in-game items like this and also reward those players that still want to play and not necessarily hinder their gameplay experience because they didn't spend 20, 40, 60 bucks on COD points for supply drops? Whatever it is, I would love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. I know it's definitely something that is of a great split in the COD community, but I'd love to gauge your feedback and your opinion here on it. So drop your thoughts down there in the comments, but that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you dudes so much for watching. I kind of rambled on, so I apologize for that. If you guys enjoyed the video though, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you guys are new to the channel, maybe consider subscribing to stay up to date with everything Modern Warfare Remastered, Infinite Warfare, COD 2017, all that good stuff regarding Call of Duty. I got you covered here on the channel. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that is the best place to get connected with me here outside of YouTube. I practically live on Twitter, so if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys want to click either of the two videos on screen right now, one will take you to a major change coming up in Modern Warfare Remastered, and the other will take you to a vlog that I did while I was out in LA for DLC 1. So both those I think you guys will enjoy. If you guys want to check it out, feel free to. But thank you dudes so much for watching. Might as well be Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Take care and peace.